Heidi ho, everyone. That's you and me, Angel, I think, at the moment. An empty room, do I see? But I'm sure it'll fill up very, very shortly. And we will get on with the job. Interesting, eh? She's an interesting old market. Volatility seems to be back, and that's pretty cool because it'll give us some opportunities to get some movement. And movement we have had from Thursday till now. It's a little bit of up and down, is it not? The big question on my mind, as it always is, I guess, when you've had a potential reversal of fortunes, is this a reversal? Oh, pardon me. Is this indeed a reversal, or is it just what we keep asking the question? Same thing as yesterday, really. Is it just a reaction that will the market will get over very, very quickly? At this stage, there is no answer for me. What there is, however, is the pending, and I've called it D-Day, USD Day, because I think today we'll probably get a fair idea as to whether that move is going to be trend setting. The move on the dollar I'm talking about is going to be trend setting or otherwise. And of course, if the dollar moves, so does just about everything else. If you're looking to say, yes, the dollar has started a trend, then actually we'll talk about that a little bit later when some more people come into the room, because that to me is the real theme. Meantime, let's have a look and see if pound US dollar is tradable as a breakout for the open, which is upcoming. And the answer I have to give, sadly, is Nietsky. And the reason, I think I've lost my control panel. I hate it when that happens. The reason is, am I sharing screen? I think I'm sharing screen. It's telling me funny stories. Okay. That's pound US dollar. That's the 30-minute chart, actually. The reason is I don't want to trade this today because I actually do like the range. Top of the range looks good. Bottom of the range looks good. But I think in here we will be bound for quite some time. Will it break out? Yeah, probably. But, you know, the risk factor, 150 odd pips, I think it was when I measured the top to bottom. Yeah, 150 odd pips. It's not a fanciful thing for me. I'm not really interested unless there's something to instigate that breakout, like an FOMC statement, for instance. Then I'm not really inclined to go, okay, 154 pips, we're at the top, we could get whipsawed. No, not a thing. So we'll leave that one alone again today. Haven't been trading that much lately, have we? Conditions don't suit, and when conditions don't suit, then that's exactly what we need to do. Jack, nothing, absolutely nothing. All right, let's have a look and see what I did today. My big thing was, Aussie yen. I've been trying to get into Aussie yen short for the longest time, and of course didn't get the breakout, as it were. But I thought the test of the weekly pivot might give us an opportunity to trade this short. If I'm wrong, then happy days. Well, not happy days, but so be it. But I thought there was a really excellent opportunity, at least to get to the daily pivot there today, as break, retest, bang. It may still get there, but price is really not doing too much at the moment. I think it'll make up its mind in the near future, maybe when the market opens in a couple of minutes, and then we'll see which way this is going to go. So it'll probably be an indicator as to whether it'll be a good trade or a bad trade. At this point in time, if you're not in the trade, there are the parameters around which I have entered. Actually trading this bar here, but you can see my stop loss is well above the weekly pivot, where I think it is safest at this point, and above that little swing there as well. So we'll see how that goes. They are the parameters around which I have traded Aussie yen this morning. Now, overnight, pound yen seem to have a lot riding on the yen at the moment. Pound yen, we spoke about this one because this is our weekly trade, right? Our weekly trade being entering the market twice. Once was on the daily chart, well after this had happened, of course. there's our entry for the sell down here, which hasn't been triggered because we placed this well after that movement had happened. But we have been triggered into the short, which was placed here just around the weekly pivot mark. So that's out of the money at the moment, but we are hopeful and expecting that price will come back down. Now, this was a little bit of a, I won't say shock, but the size of this reaction was a little bit of a surprise to me, given that it is a key reversal bar that now brings, well, it waves a flag, I'll put it that way. It waves a flag at me, and on one account, I have also got a buy stop in place. I've got it on this account actually, and that is just to cover the short. It'll be at exactly the same level in terms of risk. So I just wanted to cover that short and not go too far into the red before this does make up its mind. So that's exactly, and it's based on the reason I've placed the long as well is based on the fact that that is a key reversal bar. So if it does play out as a key reversal bar, then I have that covered as well. But at the moment, our weekly trade is out of the money by a wee bit. Second part hasn't triggered. As I said, we placed 2 orders, but the second order hasn't triggered because price just kept going up. Okay, that is pound yen and Aussie yen, the 2 new trades basically. Well, yesterday was pound yen, today is Aussie yen. Those of you coming in late, that's the order that I have in the market. If you're not in already, then that hasn't triggered at this point. If you are in, then we obviously await to see what the market's going to do with this today, and hopefully they'll drive it down to the daily pivot in the first instance, and then on to further downside, but not looking absolutely flash at the moment. Other trades that we are in, I'll just update those. Yeah, look, interesting, this one. If I was going to trade the first candle of London session, then I would probably be looking to trade this short under that bar with the stop loss above it. It's actually not too dusty to take, but I don't trade the first 30-minute candle or hourly candle of London session. But what I see here is, and like I said last night when I closed the session, I'm looking for a false break of just about anything, and I include the pivots in that. This is not that clear, but maybe it is a false break of the daily pivot. If you combine yesterday and today, it certainly is. I can't really say that of today's daily pivot, but I think on euro dollar, I actually can say that, because, well, no, I really can't, can I? It's the same thing. I'm pushing the boundaries here because I like the look of it. That's why we've gone above that level, come back below it, and then retested it, and it is a genuine double cross on the daily pivot here. The other way to look at this, of course, is we do have what clearly is forming as a head and shoulders. If I go to the 4-hour chart, that probably looks even more dramatic or more clear, with a left shoulder here, a head here, and potentially a right shoulder. Ash might have a look at this when he comes in, because he does like to trade off that right shoulder if he's trading an inverted head and shoulders. So I'll put that question to him on Aussie yen. Sorry, euro dollar, Aussie. Okay, I'll catch up. So that may have potential as an inverted head and shoulders. And if you're a fan of the dollar, then this won't happen. But if you're not a fan of the dollar, as I am not, this may well produce the reverse of what we saw last week with the reaction to FOMC, right? Or the Fed statement, or the Fed press conference. I'll put it a little bit more clearly than that, because I don't believe that the statement said anything like what the press conference may have revealed of what headlines have gone into all the media. Happy Tuesday to you too, Paul P. So this is really interesting, whether it does form a right shoulder and go long and completely obliterate what happened last week, or whether it doesn't form as an inverted head and shoulders and goes south at the rate of knots pursuant to the reaction. If the reaction, as I said, if you're a fan of the US dollar, then this will disappear from here. Well, maybe from here, maybe from here. If you're not a fan of the US dollar, then perhaps this will play out as an inverted head and shoulders, and we'll find our way back up here. And the reaction to, again, and I keep saying it, what I believe was an overreaction may well erase itself. We shall see. But I think today and tomorrow we'll find an answer to that question. Is the US dollar going to continue to rally, or is it not? And I'm quite keen to find the answer to that. The other two things that I was looking at today was Euro Swissy. As I said before, we're still in the long here, but I was very tempted to look at the short as well, because again, another key reversal bar here, and that's a corker. It's really a good one. The problem with that is twofold, really. One, you're trading straight into an untested weekly pivot without profit in the tank. And two, what was number two? Number two, oh yeah, okay. Well, we've come back inside the range. So really, I'm not thinking that we're going to go south again yet until we hit a strong resistance level. And that resistance level for mine is either the monthly pivot or the top of our range, which probably is synonymous, quite frankly. So Euro Swissy definitely was one to watch today, as was Dollar Sing. Let me find Dollar Sing. And again, this goes back to what you believe and what the market's actually going to deliver. If the market delivers the answer, okay, dollar is to continue strengthening, then this tweezer top that is very, very clear on your chart here will be obliterated and price will still go long, and that's fine. But if not, then this tweezer top does look foreboding and may well lead to more price action to the other side. Again, it's the big, and these are all the same. Everything against the dollar at the moment is the same trade, no matter what you're trading. If it's US dollar, it's either going to go long or it's not, one or the other. That's the dollar story at the moment, and everything in my mind that you trade against it is exactly the same trade. So Dollar Sing is no different to that. I think that's probably all I really need to do at the moment. I'll bring Ash in. If sorry, it looks like he's busy trading there at the moment.
No, I'm okay, mate. I'm okay. I've actually got a little bit of an issue because my data feed has stopped. So last
you gotta love
year, that. Yeah, I had a bit of a kind of bit of a battle with the people that provide my data, because I was trying to sign in on one account and I got locked out. So I still had a month left of my subscription, but I thought there was some issue with it. So I went and bought it again on a different email account, and I thought I'll just ask for the refund on the remaining.
Mm-hmm.
The remaining amount, but they wouldn't give me a refund, and there was a bit of a step two. But anyway, the data feed's so good, I thought it doesn't matter, I'll pay for it. And
what's their address, mate? I'll send me.
Well, now they've stopped it, but they've stopped it by emailing the very first account, not the second account that should have longer on it. So I'm a bit confused right now. So I've got to call them after the show. I couldn't call them before the show because they're not open till 8. And if I'm completely honest, I think it's going to be a relatively quiet session. So I don't think I'm going to miss out on anything. So the long and the short of it is right now I can't really trade because I can't see what I want to see. Yep. There was obviously a very solid move in the stock market yesterday. At one point, I thought, because I was saying to Sui yesterday, be careful with the NASDAQ because the NASDAQ has bounced every time I've tried to short it. And at one point, I thought, actually, it's not going to work out because the NASDAQ did have a bit of an aggressive move, as it opened up. But sure enough, it does the same as it's been doing for the last few weeks, which were a few days, I should say, which is bounced straight back again. And the significant thing about that is that the Nasdaq is from what I can see, is the only one that didn't really have a significant dip after the FOMC meeting. Now, I still think that the technicals look weak for the FTSE, and if I could see inside a little bit, then I would, which maybe I can. I would be trading the FTSE short. Now I'm just going to see if there is an opportunity to do that. There was one thing I did set up yesterday that might have negated the need for the subscription I pay for. So let's see how good that is. I'm just getting online now. Sorry, on it now, and I'll just have a check. It should be that one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it looks all right actually. So the FTSE actually at this stage looks like we should be buying the dip. So monthly pivot is not too far down. Daily pivot looks like a better area, but I do feel probably disabled enough not to take that opportunity. But it does look like at this stage that we should be buying the dip with the FTSE. Looks like it's got some further to travel to the upside. Or at least at minimum, I'd be surprised if it broke down. I suppose that's really what we should be thinking. So that does mean we do need a dip, because if it's going to come back to this level, then we need something to go from to. There's no point in trading it here and it going sideways. It'd probably be better to see if we can get a bit of a dip and trade it back into this particular zone, which I can show you actually if you like. I've got also slight issues with my computer, but let's see what we've got here.
Oh, I'm back in Aussie yen, as you can see from my screen.
Oh, okay.
It's not doing anything again.
Okay, nice, mate. Nice. Okay.
But I'm back in.
No, why can't I get my charts up? This is the trials and tribulations of when you change your system. What is going on? I can't actually get into my charts. They are there, but they are not opening up. I can't blow them up for some reason. It's like they're tucked in somewhere. Yeah, having a bit of a they're sort of they're tucked behind. 1 second. Let me see if I can. I've got my PC and I've got my laptop, both at work at the minute. PC for trading, laptop for presenting, because it just kind of gives me that little bit extra space. And I'm wondering whether...
Just while you're doing that, it's going to be interesting having a chat to Shukri today. I see the cryptos seem to be still in a bit of a downward slide.
Yeah, they're in a bit of a hole, mate, and I'm looking. Right now, I have to say, with the crypto market, this is where I get interested in the buying opportunity. I think that there's been enough of a downdraft now to kind of get us in. There's two things going on, and there's two technical sides to the argument here. The first one is the death cross, where we've seen the 50 cross beneath the 200, and that's just recently happened with Bitcoin. And it can result in anything from a 20 to 70% move to the downside. So it seems like since we've seen these death crosses on Bitcoin, they've been less and less extreme. So we might get another 15%, maybe another 20% down. That's possible. But there's also this Wyckoff theory that seems to be going around the crypto space as well, where the death cross will just act as an extra tool to kind of get those retail traders just to get rid of their assets, and then all the institutions can come up, because the Wyckoff pattern is like this accumulation pattern, and we're at the lower end of the Wyckoff pattern here. Which means that there could be an opportunity to buy up at this stage, and I am looking at it. And again, I was quite reliant on my data feed for analyzing the crypto markets, and it's been really good for that. And I can't, and I'm either going to have to go and ring him and say, look, just give me another subscription, or I'm going to have to figure out a different way, which would potentially be a lot cheaper, but the thing is, what I've found with this this subscription, and you guys might have probably found this as well, is that when a subscription is, I'm not going to call it expensive, but it is pricey. You know, when it has a fairly high price tag, then you obviously will have to question whether you should buy it. But when that price tag pays itself back in multiple terms, you sort of then go, you know what, this thing is actually making me money. It does cost, but it makes me money. It's one of those things that I suppose if a painter looks at two paintbrushes, I'm talking about a painter decorator, looks at two paintbrushes and one paintbrush is double the price of the other, but it increases his work by 2 and a bit fold. So
and you can't see brush strokes and the hairs don't fall out and all that. All that.
He never gets complaints, and the people don't ask for their money back. So ultimately, he makes more money out of it. What's he going to do? And I think the answer's got to be that he pays for the most expensive paintbrush.
Yeah, but he doesn't, because he just charges people like you and me who pay to paint.
Yeah.
So he's win-win, mate.
There's always a way around it for paint decorators.
Yeah, hell yes. Yeah, tradesmen. I love tradesmen.
Right. Okay. So let me see if I can get this working here. So this should be okay now. So we should be looking at the FTSE over here, and I'm just going to bring it in on a slightly longer term time frames. I don't like. You can see that I'm in a bit of an issue here because all the colours these aren't my colours, you know. So I'm sort of. I
noticed that yesterday. You're more on my line, although you've got red and green rather than black and white for me.
Is this better to look at, this background color than the black?
I don't know, mate, to be honest.
Okay, because I don't mind leaving it on this one for the show. I mean, I trade off black backgrounds, but if it's better for the show, I can trade off this. I can show you guys on this one.
You'd have to ask everyone else, mate.
Oh, okay. So here we go with the FTSE. Now, the obvious kind of place is down here. Now, let's see. I don't know whether I've got pivots on this particular. Have we got pivots? No, nothing is. Oh, we got weekly pivots here. Oh no, do you know what? That's got no price action. Okay, so let me just check my other system and see. So it's 25 pips away for the daily pivot, which is here. So 70.28, in my opinion, is probably a bit of a sweet spot for the upside. I'm not sure whether I'd be that keen before it, but it doesn't look to me like this market is going to be breaking down. So, and look at that, a nice 38% retracement there as well. So there's some confluence on this 70.28. I don't think the market's ready to come down just yet. I think we've got enough in the way of speeches and data this week to keep the market relatively buoyant and maybe just put us in a little bit of a trading range between 70.28 and the 7,000. Looks like 7,084 on this one. Yeah, 7,084, between 7,084 and 70.28. So there's like a 50 pip range between these two, which is not a lot. So the way I would want to play it is by buying here and putting a stop at this low down here at 6,990. I don't think there's going to be an opportunity to add, but there might be. But you can. I mean, I don't know whether you guys get the feel of this, but I always get the feel of how the market's moving, sort of early doors, to kind of give me an impression of what we are likely to get, not only for the next few minutes, but also for the session. And these kind of tails are bigger than the bodies, and that does kind of suggest that the market isn't sure what it's going to do, and that forces me to think, well, I need the best price then. You know, because if it's not being really clear here that we're going to be going up or down, then I need the best possible price to get me back to the mean. This sort of suggests kind of mean trading or mean for the last a few hours, not the mean overall. But it kind of suggests to me a little bit of range trading, if you like, for a period. So I've got because it's in the range, I want to make sure I get the higher or lower end of the range. The higher end of the range, from what I can see, is up here, and the lower end of the range, from what I can see, is down here. I know we've got this price action here, which might suggest something else, but I think we do create sort of something in. There's a possibility we could create this down here. The daily pivot's down here. The monthly pivot is above it. So it might struggle to get through the monthly pivot, but we might find that it just flip-flops between the two. And it just disregards that monthly pivot just for right now. So I'm going to utilize that daily pivot. So so this is the trade for me, mate. FTSE long 70.28 with a stop down at 69.90, which gives around about 40, and aiming back really for the highs again. So looking for around about a 50 pip move, or maybe even a 1-to-1. I'd be surprised if we broke through that area today, but obviously anything can happen. But as I say, I just think that we've got maybe too many things that are coming out, throughout the week. So I'm not sure whether it would be quite right.
Do you think the market's decided at this point whether there's follow through in the reaction to the Fed statement? In other words, is the dollar going to continue to rally? Are we going to see stocks come off? All of those things that the Fed meant.
I would think so, mate. Yes, I would think so. I mean, we know that markets don't go in one direction before they start to kind of snap back a little bit, and then give the opportunity again to go in the direction that was caused by the statement. But I think that statement is pretty significant. So I do think the dollar's got some further upside. I think it's going to be a buy the dip scenario from here on in for a period. I think Bullard coming out and saying what he said probably helped the dollar bulls even more. I think that the global equities they were already in an inflection point, and they do have a reason to sell off from here. They do have a reason to kind of, people do have a reason now to take profit. Now we've been talking about this May the 14th day for, we were talking about that particular day for quite a while. And I think it would be unfair to kind of say it had to be that day. As we said before, there was a 6-week grace. Now we're getting close to the 6-week grace where it gets to the end of this month. But I think that the prediction is going to end up being spot on. I think it's, now there's a catalyst, and that's really what was waited for. The market participants had their reason to sell at that time or take profit at that time, because now they don't pay the capital gains tax. That was the first kind of box ticked. Then they needed a catalyst to kind of say, now's the time. There's no point in holding on to this any longer. We've made such good profits here. Shall we start taking some money off the table? And I do think that that Fed meeting is going to be the catalyst, unless, of course, things start to change again with COVID, because this Delta variant seems to be picking up pace with the story. The story seems to be picking up a bit of pace, and that may then start making people think, okay, well, the Fed's going to have to be more accommodative for longer if we're not able to get out of the hole that we appear to be on. The trajectory right now for the US economy is good. It is solid. The jobs data isn't so good. The problem that the Fed have got is that they've been thrown a custard pie slap in their face, because they're now having to come out and admit that this inflation story isn't transitory, or at least not as transitory as they originally said. I mean, we knew it. We were saying it. Well, let's say we knew it. We were kind of
we're certainly talking about it.
Yeah, it just didn't seem right to us that it could be transitory when you print that much. And with all the other kind of factors, it didn't seem like it would be a transitory scenario, and it appears to be proving to be the case. So the fact that the jobs numbers aren't right suggests to me that the Fed is going, okay, this is slightly more concerning, because we can't get all our ducks in a line. We're going to have to react a bit before.
Yeah,
and the danger, mate. The big danger is that. That with their hand being forced, that they actually choke the economic growth. If it ends up being the case, does their hand end up being forced? Do they actually start to raise interest rates? Certainly, they've increased that dot plot. So if they do start to increase the interest rates, do they choke the economy significantly enough for there not to be the recovery to enable them to have the interest rate hike, which brings you back in to say, I hate the dollar. So we might be looking at this scenario a few months down the road when we actually find out that they've completely lost control of this situation, and maybe gold starts to rally. Maybe we really do then see the promotion of cryptocurrencies back in play when the dollar ends up being an absolute dog because the Fed have just messed the whole thing up. Because I think this is quite tenuous. I think this whole thing,
I do too. Totally do.
I think they're walking a tightrope here. And we've been saying for a couple of years, there's every possibility that we actually live through the death of a currency, or at least the turning of one of the major currency going somewhere else. And we can't forget that. That was our theory 6 months ago, or whatever it was. And it still, I think, should hold some water now. And we really need to see now, do they get this right, or do they royally mess this up? And I think there's a chance they could.
Yeah, look, it makes it interesting in terms of trading, because you either, as I said this morning in my preview, you either now, if you're trading currencies, that is, which is what I do, but you're either a dollar fan or you're not.
Yeah.
And to position yourself in that fashion is an interesting challenge. And I don't think the smaller time frames are helpful at the moment, because volatility is coming back in, as you would expect. And 30-minute, hourly situations can be very, very lucrative, but I think you're probably better off stepping out a little bit, even daily and beyond. I believe that's my thesis anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate. On a side note, I'm trying to create us a little TV studio.
Oh, okay.
I need the camera on the other side, though. The camera needs to go over here. It might be on the right side for you, but I need the camera over here. I'm going to put trading buddies in that the screen in the background.
So I'm going to have to work out how to do this, right? Now, it's not a matter of I know how to do it, but the message keeps telling me that my computer is not compatible.
I had the same issue, mate. Yeah,
it's Windows 10 for God's sake.
Yeah. I had the same issue. My advice to you would be get Lloyd to fix it for you, because I can do it.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, effectively, you just said just use a different computer for presenting, and might have a better system in there to be able to give you a virtual background. And he was right. So that's why I'm now on this, which is why it's catching me a little bit on the hop, because I've only just changed to this, and now I've got to. I'm changing my the way I'm sitting. I'm changing the way that I'm facing. I'm changing the way the things that I'm looking at, and it's just put me off kilt a little bit for trying to trade. So I've really got to get comfortable here again before I'm feeling, I think, really comfortable trading again. But as I say, I don't feel too bad about it today, because today doesn't look to me like a particularly easy session at this stage.
Not really trading. I actually thought it might be I called it the D-Day, the US D-Day, where I thought we would get a real indication as to whether it is going to continue its strength or otherwise. At the moment, that's a whole lot of BS, because the market's doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I've just seen the messages. Sweet, I'm really glad you didn't do anything yesterday. I was a bit worried at one point, because, as I say, the Nasdaq started coming down. I thought, oh gosh, I've told her to be careful, and now it's going to go in the direction. So I'm glad you didn't get caught out with that one. So Lewis likes the darker background better, which is great, because I prefer it too. So I will set that back up again. Shukri's here.
Shukri's here. I've got a few questions for Shukri.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I am.
G'day, buddy.
Hello, mate. How are we?
We are on the tenterhooks again.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Thanks to China.
I was just saying that I look at this and I think, and now it starts to get interesting for the buy, because it's right on the edge, isn't it?
This is right on the edge of that. But let's see, based on history, what happened, because this is a very unique day.
Yeah. Chile's is doing well as well, I noticed.
Which one?
Chile's.
Oh, Chile's, because do they have a new deal?
I don't know, but Man City are part of it now. I had a look at them yesterday.
Yeah, because of that. So you see, there's still a use case, but until Bitcoin is recovering and until Bitcoin has shown confidence to recover,
Yeah.
then yeah, we'll struggle. And I'll show you the problem. Are you guys ready? This is the problem I see. This is quite a problem. We've seen it before, but still, this is quite a problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me show you the chart here. So we have to see, and the idea is simple. Are people's confidence now impacted? That's what we have to ask. So let me change the screen here. So in order to do that, we have to see this. Aha! The fear and greed index. This is so critical.
Yeah.
So you can see the low here. The low here, you know, this was March 2020. We rebounded. But look here, I want to see this date. That was 9th April, right? And then it went down again. See, I'm always worried about these things. And it happened again here. Because this shows you, okay, this is bad. Okay, I think you guys, okay, as traders, we know, right? So, okay, we know that, okay, probably we didn't do anything much here. And then what happened, we kind of caught the rebound here. Let me put this as red. We kind of caught the rebound here. Oh, it doesn't want to change to red. Change it to red, yeah, here. And then we got slammed down again.
Yeah.
That is the problem here. Getting slammed down again is here. I mean, if this happens a lot of time, I feel that traders are going to not be so confident of entering, and that will, of course, delay the recovery or prolong the rebound. And now we have to deal with one more thing, and I don't know what's going to happen. So maybe Jeff knows more about interest rate. Is the U.S. market going to fall? Because if the U.S. market falls, okay, I think we will get the conclusion here. That's a done deal, right? Because Bitcoin, gold, you know, just like last March, I don't think so, but I am opening myself to a lot of possibilities. So we've touched this, we got back up, and then we're back down again. This is bad, this is bad. And let me show you now what people are seeing and why people are hesitating is the death cross. Okay, and this is the problem here. Okay, so we were in this vicious box here, this vicious channel here. Look at that. So we made it.
That's beautiful, mate. That's not vicious. That's gorgeous.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it just went up perfect. And then Fed came in, but that was okay. People were still not scared. So that gave people a lot of confidence. But when it did that because of China, oh, okay, then they're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't do anything again. And you know, if you don't do anything again, that's when the problem is. So again, this is the death cross. I think people now are really looking at this. What is going to happen after a death cross? And let's go through some examples before what happened before. This is a death cross. This is bad. But is it really bad? Okay, let's go back in time. And let me tell you, okay, a fall like this is not going to kill us. I'll show you what kills us. It's after the death cross, but let's go and take a view of the death cross of what happened before. So again, let's go back last year. Oh, last year, okay, that big drop there. What happened last year? March 2020. Okay, that was a death cross. But this death cross was actually a buying opportunity because, you know, it had been falling. There was a lot of negative. It fell very, very steeply. Now, I saw that on April 9th. Right? What happened on April 9th, right? Okay, it went back down. So it scared people and then it went back up. Okay, so that was a good death cross. That's a good one. Okay, this one was also, okay, there was a death cross. It came back again. Again, it had been going down for a lot, but the death cross that I am really worried is this, the one that I saw in 2018. And this is the problem, okay? This is the problem when I told you that, you know, getting knocked out so many times, people will just leave the market. This is what's really worrisome here. It's that. Okay, so it's fine. So it's fine that people, you know, there was a death cross. It came back up, but look at this. That is what kills people.
Mm.
This, see, a fall like this, I think crypto traders are not scared, but we're scared of this because then, you know what, we come here. I hope I don't draw it like a bear. I'm trying to draw a frog, you know. If you guys can't hear, I'm very sorry that this is not a frog, but this is a frog because it's like a frog. See, you are like a frog. You are in the boiled water that's being boiled slowly.
Yeah.
I know it's like a bear, right? See, this does not kill you. You know you're out, you're out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is what kills you. It goes slowly down, up, down, gives you hope, and then bam, you're done with. You're gone.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That is the problem with this. That is why people worry about the death cross. And when people say, okay, this went down like 50% and then it went down another 50%, I'm not concerned about this going down another 50% here. Because if this were the end of the market, you'd be out before that. No issue at all. Because I was out way before that. But the people who stuck around just like, okay. And the worst thing, Ash, when they come here, guess what? They don't have capital anymore to even.
Yeah.
That's the problem we have.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. I think this is the big question. I've got to say, mate. I'm looking at the chart right now, and I'm just going. This looks like a buy to me. It looks like a great place to get in. You don't have to kind of like go in too heavy, but I like it here personally. I really like it here. And one of the reasons I like it is because of the death cross. I like the fact that retail traders will focus on that as their sell message or their get out message, and then the institutions can go, now we've got you. We're going to get but this is our bargain point. Now I might be wrong because I do think that Bitcoin's got that 20,000 kind of area where it could come down to.
Yeah. Everyone's looking at this because this is 2017, right? 2017 high. Yeah, this.
Yeah. I think there is a chance it comes down there. Yeah. But I think if you start aggregating your position and sort of saying, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking aggregating the position here and saying, look, if it drops a little bit more, no problem. If it starts to pick up, then you add to it on the way up instead. So I'm quite excited right now about this stuff. The other thing about it is that but what you were just saying about people haven't got the money to kind of get back in when it comes down.
Yeah, it comes down slowly.
Yeah, when it comes down. But isn't that the kind of the situation already? Because we have had that move down. Aren't a lot of retail traders now just exhausted and probably out the market?
All right. Yeah, the retail. I'm concerned about the institutions.
Oh,
what? During this, okay, let's talk about the institutions. Mr. Michael Saylor, Michael Strategy, bought Bitcoin at 37,000. He bought a lot.
Oh, okay.
And that is the thing. That is the institutions are still buying. And of course here, this was also caused by the grayscale unlocking.
Mm-hmm.
And then Grayscale has another unlocking in mid-July. So I think this will only be resolved. It could be resolved before, but it will be resolved decisively only after mid-July because we have to wait for that unlocking. This is not.
And we've also got the SEC this week, haven't we? making a statement about this stuff. The timing for me is the only issue. I would really like it to get to the end of the month before I start buying anything. I like the price here actually, but I think it might be here just a little bit early. So I'm going to hold on just for a little while longer.
It goes down and then it goes back up. Nobody knows now. So
my
thing is this. He's supposed to call me. What do you do? We can't call Ghostbusters. We call Darcy this night. Because to me, it's the only thing. I just want to know two things. Okay, this is what I want to know. I'm not going to moon or not moon. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to know that if this death cross, is it like that?
Yep.
Or is it like that? That's all I want to know.
Of course. Well, that's the $1 million question, mate.
Yes. Is there going to be another rally or is this it? Now, if this is it, I know what to do. If there's another rally, then I know what to do too. That's never the issue. Yeah.
just buy it up.
Been here before.
Tell me this. Have we actually been here before? Where the other death crosses are?
Yeah. here.
It appears to me that that range that you're currently in is unprecedented.
Yeah, it is. It's not. Yeah, because this is a new high here, and at this they say this is a Wyckoff distribution. This could be an accumulation. And then there was another one here, right? There was another one, yeah. But this one, man, this
what
one,
was the market doing when that crossover came? Was the market ranging?
No, the market was ranging. This one, the market was rebounding. This one, the market was basically crashing down. So it caught many people by surprise. And this one, there was that surprise May 19th crash. Otherwise, it was doing this. Yeah, this is what, I would like to know Jeff's opinion here. Otherwise, it was doing this. This was basically China and Elon. The first China hit. Okay,
See, that's the bloody problem you got.
Yeah, China and Elon here. This was because of mining. The latest one is because China now bans, and this is quite serious, bans transactions using their banks.
Yeah.
So that is two things here. Okay, so this before that it was like happily here, and it was a happily here. It was a happy time because it was like not doing anything, you know, just ranging. Ranging for Bitcoin is good, but this range is now having people freaking out because people are thinking, okay, what if it goes to 20?
But that's actually the best, technically the best range that there's ever been that I can see on that chart.
Oh yeah, it's nice, right?
Absolutely, it's gorgeous.
It is. But
you know, the other thing to consider here is that, you know, that is a big head and shoulders that we got going on there. And we're right at the lower end of that right shoulder.
Yeah, correct.
And it's a great time to buy because the thing about head and shoulders is, and this is why I always try and pick.
Because somebody did measure, it kind of reached that target here.
Oh no, I'm talking about the that being the head, that red box being the head.
Oh, okay, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then we're on the low end of the right shoulder. So we're on the neckline.
Okay.
Right on the neck.
Okay.
Now head and shoulders patterns, they'll work out 1/3 of the time. So actually probabilities are in our favor to buy here. This is a buy zone.
Yeah, it is.
Now the other thing can I ask you, mate? Your arrow.
Something there, yes, very important, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why the fear index is at 10. You're right. If you come from outside, you say this is bad. I agree, but here's the deal. And I see this, right? The fear index is at 10. Now, if this were a buy, and I tell you what other traders are doing, they're doing what you're doing. If there is a buy, they would move USDT into exchanges.
Right.
Or USDC into exchanges, or whatever USD to buy. They're not doing anything. They're not selling. They're not selling. There's no selling.
Oh, interesting, mate. I see what you're saying. So they would put their USD.
So that's what I have, Jeff. What's going on with the psychology here? Gotcha. They're not selling, but they're not moving in to buy at lower levels. And I think this is because a lot of people got caught, you know, because the you talk about the fear, right? It went down to 10. It was here at 10. Then suddenly went to 30, and then it suddenly got slammed at 10. And I'm like, okay, I was wrong then. Maybe I should not do anything here. Maybe I'm just going to keep myself shut. Maybe I'm just going to go to sleep.
Gotcha.
Well, the answer to that is look at the sentiment cycle.
Yeah. And it would probably fit it really well. Well, if we're going to look at the sentiment cycle, we need a little bit of time to let this develop before we're going to be bulls again, right? I mean, it probably hasn't flushed out completely. Can I just ask for one extra technical area here? You see where you've got your arrow in March, that low, the arrow in March, that one. Could you draw me a trend line from that low?
Ah, okay. Let me see this. Okay, let's draw a trend line here. Okay.
Yeah, that low, and then extrapolate right. Yeah, there. Keep going. Yeah, so you make sure you get the low in September. Now, where does that leave us?
Ooh,
that leaves
20.
20. Okay, all right.
Yeah, 20. Yeah. Okay. That's where they got the 20. Then, yeah.
Yeah, you see, the thing is that if you were to do a measured move on the head and shoulders now, it would probably lead you down to about 20. The top of the box. What's the range of the top of the box? The bottom of the box. That green box.
This is 41. This is 29. 41.29 is 12.
12 and 32 minus 12 is 20.
Yeah.
So it leads us down there, and that's the only caveat. That's the only thing for me. We are in a buy zone, but there are a few technical pictures here which would suggest if it comes down, 20 is the real kind of that's the area. Which is why I say not a problem buying something here as long as you aggregate your position and say I'm going to get the rest of my position on at 20. I'll buy all the way down as long as I believe in Bitcoin.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the question that people have got to ask themselves. Do you like purely go on the charts, or do you believe in the project? Because if you believe in the project, why do you care what the price is?
Yeah. Correct.
To a degree. Obviously, everyone wants to
for the Ethereum and all to move, Bitcoin has to recover. Not here, but it has to at least go around here and just chop here. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. This is good. Again, Bitcoin going up too fast is kind of not good. So Bitcoin can take its time, but yeah, doing like that, it has to not to be here, because to be here, people don't want to do anything worrying about this.
I wonder do you think, the SEC is this week, isn't it?
I
think yesterday they announced that if I think what they've done is that they've got their agenda, and cryptos weren't on the agenda. And it was because they said they needed more time to talk about it, which suggests they don't really know what they're going to do. But I'm pretty sure they've got some kind of. I'm pretty sure they've got some meeting at the end of the week about cryptocurrencies, and we might find out a little bit more about it then.
Guys, I'll be back in 2 secs. Shukri, don't go anywhere, because I've got to ask you a question.
Okay. Oh, he's got a question. Yeah.
But we're worried about the ETF now. Where's the ETF? Where's the ETF?
It's got enemies, isn't it? Bitcoin's got its enemies at the minute.
Yeah. But it's kind of weird because a lot of people already have issued ETFs, including Canada. When is the US?
Yeah.
It's taken.
Oh, mate, do you know? And this is the thing, and it does depend on what you listen to and what you trust. Because as you say, I've heard the bears go, "This is a death cross," and I've heard the bulls go, "This is a Wyckoff accumulation pattern." So it's like, okay, which side of the fence do you fall on? In my opinion, you fall on the side of the fence whether you believe in the project, because if you do, this is a buying opportunity. This is a buy zone. Just get in and average in. If you don't, then you're probably ready for it to pop up, and then you can sell it again. But I think that we're probably now sort of like really having the genuine argument, and the question is what's going to tip it below here, because the stuff that we've had so far, I would have thought would be enough to take us lower, but it hasn't gone lower as yet. It's holding.
Yeah, correct. It hasn't gone beyond, because there's the good thing now is that there's a lot of bad news. This is good.
Yes, exactly. And that's the other reason I like the buying opportunity.
Because there's a lot of bad news. I mean, to me, China gave the worst news. There's bad news after bad news after bad news. This is
which is the perfect time to sort of like when it's unloved is when you want it. Right. When everybody's talking about it, when it was like, when CNBC was saying it's going to 100,000, that was the time to get out. Yes. But now it's loved. It's the reverse philosophy. You kind of go, okay, now people hate it. My question is, do they hate it enough yet? Maybe they don't quite yet.
Yes. No, I think that the general sentiment, just looking at the movement of the cryptos, because cryptos is good. You can see the movement is that people are not doing anything. The big guys aren't selling, and they're not buying also, because there's no flow. There's no flow. There's no flow into this.
Yeah.
Technically, you're going to get an answer when that range breaks, because that's the biggest and most unique range on that chart.
You're going to lose a lot, though, mate. I mean, if you wait for that range to break, then you're going to be losing 20% as it goes higher. You're going to lose 20% of the. That's
if it breaks to the high side, but you should be able to get in off the bottom of that range. Is what I'm saying.
Side we have 47. The bottom side we have 20. So
you would like to see it break down, Jeff, break back in again, and then retest the low, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like it does every other time. AKA a bear trap.
Yeah.
Now, the good thing about this is I think that, the ET, now let's look. Grayscale has another unlocking in mid-July. Mid-July is also the time when they are supposed to extend the review of the ETF or just give it approval. So
Right.
something that can change this, it is the ETF. And of course, if they approve the ETF in Bitcoin, this is going to sound weird, but Ethereum is going to go crazy because then the next one is the Ethereum ETF. But
yeah. Yeah, no, and Grayscale are trying to get a few on. I think they've applied to get
correct. So they're trying to get another few assets in, but it really all depends on that, because now if you look at the Bitcoin ETF, I think it's MicroStrategy.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate, and that's why I think that the best time to start really looking for buying this would be the start of July. I'd like to let June get past, let it be a really bad month for cryptos. Everybody get fed up with it. See Jeff's nice breakout to the low side and then back up again, and then we trade it long.
But now I want to ask you, what do you think of the U.S. markets?
So the US,
I want to know now.
Well, this is we've been having this discussion. This is a problem because unless the Delta variant affects things with the Fed, I think the stock market is likely to be affected negatively. We haven't really seen a genuine breakdown just yet, but you don't really get
up, right?
Yeah, I mean we've and if you think back, and I'm referring back again, I'm repeating myself a little bit, but if you think back to what Gordon Scott said, he said the 14th of May was the time that effectively they had a green light to sell. Now that didn't really happen, but they're still within that range. They've got that 6-week grace period, so they can sell now without getting the capital gains. Now they've got the catalyst to take profit. So they've all made a lot of profit. Now the Fed is saying that they are going to be tapering. This is a catalyst. This is a catalyst for people to go, let's start moving out of some of those riskier assets and start going into the ones that are a little bit more safe, but the slight safe haven-ish things. So personally, mate, I think the US stock market is going to be under pressure. Now, it hasn't materialized just yet, but I think people are waiting for some of those numbers. Jobs numbers need to be watched very, very closely. If they come out well, the stock market is likely to weaken. And we've got to keep listening to the Fed speakers, particularly the ones that tend to be dovish. Bullard coming out and saying we should maybe raise interest rates in 2022, not that significant. He's always like that. But we want to sort of find out the ones that are particularly dovish, the ones that always kind of push it out to further and further. Because if they start coming in, then we've got a bit of a problem. That would suggest that we're starting to raise interest rates earlier, which I personally think is going to affect the stock market negatively a little bit.
I got it. Yeah.
And from my point of view, technically, if you see a lower high on maybe a weekly chart, then I think there's your answer.
What is your question to Shukri, mate?
My question to Shukri is this. Now, because I've divested myself of Kusama, and no doubt so many hundreds, thousands of other people have done the same, is that why it's down 60-odd%? Yeah, because of the auction.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, because unless they announce some more exciting crowd loans, so now what we're waiting is actually today, because now I think today they are supposed to award the first parachain winner.
Oh, will that be me?
Will go on for the next 5 weeks, and then as more come in, so again they have to show the process of awarding. And then people get excited, and then it might go up later, and then it will go back down after the buying pressure is over. And then they will just go through this crowd loan process. Yeah.
Okay, so let me understand what has actually occurred. So myself and a lot of other people have now loaned.
Yes.
Who was it? Pat Boone, Moon River, and bloody someone else, other things, two other things that I did.
So you loaned it to Moon River, right?
Right. So Moon River's got to be saying, what the bloody hell? They've just given us a dud, haven't they?
No. So Moon River will now say, hey, thank you, Jeff. I got this much.
Yep.
I got this much. I got a lot, right? Now, because I got a lot, now it depends on the Web3 Foundation. Just say this is Polkadot. And Polkadot will now decide, okay, Moon River, you have enough. Let's say that Moon River is one of the winners.
Yep.
Once Moon River is one of the winners, it can now run. It can now run on the Kusama this, right? It can run on the Kusama parachain. It's something proper. There's a new beginning there. And then Moon River to say thank you to you, Jeff. We are only going to return this after 48 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But because you helped us win, we are going to give you Moon River tokens. That is what happens. And let me draw this. Let me draw this with green. They are going to give you Moon River tokens. And after 48 weeks, you get back your Kusama.
Okay, so I get that bit.
Yeah.
But what does that do to the price of Kusama?
No, you don't have to worry about Kusama anymore now. What is important is when does this
No,
end?
but they do, don't they? I mean, for instance, just say I gave Moon River 10 Kusamas, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can now play with 10 Kusamas.
No, they can't. They can't. It has to be staked in the network for them to get to use the network. This is where the crowd, I know where you're coming from. Okay, yeah, I know where you're coming from. Okay, I know where you're coming. Okay, this is not the traditional ICO is when you give money and then you give to a company, right? I mean, if Kusama is worth 300 or 400, and they got it 2 weeks ago, and now Kusama goes down to 250. I know. Hey, they have like 250. They got less. How can they survive? Doesn't work that way. This is also locked in the system. Moon River already has the funders. You see, what you need to do, you know, in crypto networks, you need to store it in order for the network to run. That's what they're doing. So then they get to operate a large portion of this Kusama network. That's all that's happening. So this is a loan. It's not I know it's an IDO, but it's a new model of an IDO. Understand?
So the value of Kusama is irrelevant to the network. Is that right?
No, the value of Kusama is 11. What is relevant is the number. How many Kusamas were put into this wallet here? This one.
Yep.
Okay, now it's also irrelevant to you, but it must be relevant also because now you got to calculate, I get this Moon River token. Can I clear my capital here? And then you get a free ride.
Okay, got you.
I know it's different. And this is why this model of the old model of IDOs and ICOs really burned a lot of people before because, they got Ethereum when Ethereum was 1,000. So let's say Ethereum was 1,000. Let's say at one point in time, I raised 10 Ethereum, right? So that's 10,000. So let's just say, okay, 10,000, I know I can survive for 6 months, and that's the development period. And then after that, everything is hunky-dory. But when Ethereum goes to 300, I got a problem. Now my project cannot even run. I'm dead.
Yep.
This is the problem. That's not the case with Moon River and Moonbeam and all that because they already got big investors, Coinbase and everything.
Okay. Whilst I still don't get the principle of, okay, here's the value you give to this model or this network, but the value now isn't relevant. That doesn't make sense.
Kusama is one Kusama. The currency is not relevant. I mean, it's like if you are, if something costs 10 Turkish lira, it costs 10 Turkish lira.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Turkey, right? Say Jeff deposited 10 Turkish lira. Whether 1 Turkish lira equals 5 USD or 8 USD or 10 USD is totally different. And at the end of the day, you will still get that 10 Turkish lira. That time it could be 1 USD is 3 Turkish lira or even 20 Turkish lira.
Yeah, no, I totally get that bit coming back out. But what I don't get is what value or perceived value now, it has while it's in the...
there. Let's just say that this is a company that needs to operate because it needs to have paid up capital.
Yep.
Its paid up capital needs to be 100 Turkish lira. So you contributed 10 Turkish lira. And as long as they see that paid up capital, they can now do business.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
and then they give you something else. They give you something called like our Turkish lira, which is a better version than Turkish lira. I don't know. They might give you British pound because they like you.
So it actually becomes security for them.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
That's what they give you back, and then they're supposed to do a new one and all that. Yeah.
Cool. What a weird world we live in.
Yeah, this is why they say this is more transparent than the previous models. With the previous models, they take the
Jesus.
market, and then you're like, okay, what
Thank God I wasn't around then. It'd be like looking into a black hole.
You might, yeah, you might. And that's what all the rug pulls and all this. That's, yeah.
All right, mate. Thank you for that. And as you know, it only took me about 6 hours to get that bloody thing going. 6 hours of heartache. See, I've got.
Let's hope not, mate. Let's hope it won't end up being heartache.
Oh, whatever. It'll be an interesting ride, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why. So, yeah. What is this? Yeah, SF Lee. Yeah, Swarm IDO doing 10 times now. Yeah, that's what I said. So, as I said, Jeff, there are still things doing a 10x. So that's the thing. All I want to know from Sidious is this the last hurrah? Then I know what to do. I will say, right, the next one will be just IDOs. You can still go a long way with that. Or is there one more thing? And if there's one more round, then you have to ask, is that the last one? Because
Yes.
I think we are going to shift into, the only thing that I ask myself now, are we going to shift into bear market trading now? Or is it going to be in October? Or is it going to be in February next year? That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
What's that range, buddy? What's that range? If it bounces off the bottom of that range and puts in a higher low?
Yeah, watch that range, man. Yep, watch that range. Yeah.
Up you go.
So I hope the Chinese, come on, China, give it to us. We're like Rocky, man. We're like this. Not like, hey, hello. Hey. I'm full up again.
Oh dear. All right. Well, let's wrap it up for the day. I think
Always entertaining.
I think personally, it's going to be very difficult for the crypto train to stop running. I just think these NFTs are really exciting. I think that there's lots still going on with the crypto market, which is really fascinating and is going to be a use case scenario, maybe a few years down the line, but it's going to be dependent on everybody's stomach for time. You know, if you want to buy in, does it come back to this price eventually? If there's a bear market, probably does. So but if you haven't got the stomach to wait, then it's better just to wait and see if you can get a better price. If it comes down a bit further.
It's just like the stock market, but it moves slower. Like in crypto, as long as you see the business case that the company is operating, the tokens will catch up with the price, like the stocks will catch up, but it's slower. It's really slower. It will go like this and then suddenly go up. That's the way. It's not like a stock. You know, the news comes up and then slowly up and then so no, you can't follow that way. So sometimes that's why I said that you have to take away the price from the company.
Right.
And this is not like stocks. You know, stocks is easy, right? Okay, GME, I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in GameStop. I didn't believe in AMC, but now AMC are buying up stuff. That's a different story, okay?
Yeah. You're right, mate, because when it comes down to it with a stock, at least because you can use, cash flow, you can use the balance sheet, you can use the depreciation of the assets. You can use a plethora of information to say this is the value of the company. You can actually do a valuation. But with cryptos, the value is really still what we imagine.
So just as an example, before I go and get slammed again by Rocky here. Okay, anyway, what if this is AMC?
That was actually China. No, I'm serious. It was.
If this is AMC, say AMC is a crypto, it may not go up. It might still go down with all this good news. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
So you ought to take it away from the company. But as far as you're concerned, I do agree there's a lot of activity going on in crypto. That's true. The business does not stop.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think the use case is definitely still there. Anyway, let's wrap it up. So thank you so much, mate. Entertaining as always. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mate, thank you.
Let's wrap it up and come back tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can do some phoning around and see if I can sort my system out, so I can just get a bit of a clearer view of what I should be trading. But as I say, stock market today doesn't look that palatable to me, so I don't feel like we've missed anything. But let's come back tomorrow. Thank you as always, guys, for coming in. I'm going to continue to see if I can design us a decent TV studio, mate. I'd quite like a picture of you, so I can get our little we can get a little cartoon image of ourselves somewhere in the corner or something.
You want my NFT, or you want a real picture?
Well, yeah, maybe your NFT would do it actually. Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you a high res of my NFT.
You can be the Tasmanian devil, and I will be the bull, because obviously that's my
surname.
So.
That sort of fits, yeah.
Yeah. I saw a really interesting show on Tasmanian devils actually the other day, mates, and apparently there's some sort of terrible cancer going around.
Yeah, face cancer. Yeah, it's wiped out most of them. They're really endangered. It's terrible.
Yeah, but they got a vaccine. Is that right?
They have been working on one for a long time, and I believe it has got positive results only just recently. So yeah, right. Promising.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed.
You should hear him. It's like a banshee crying. They just they make a horrible noise.
Yeah. Well, now I know why they got the Tasmanian devil cartoon, and the way why he does what he does. It makes complete sense now.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant creatures. Okay, mate. Well, let's wrap it up. Thanks as always to you. Thanks to Angel as well for looking after us. We'll be back tomorrow. Same trade time, same trade channel.
You bet we will. Keeping my eye very closely on euro US dollar at the moment. That double cross on the daily pivot does look interesting for a short, but I was going to ask you, Ash, it's also right on the right shoulder of a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders.
Which one is that?
Euro dollar.
Euro dollar.
So it's kind of could go either way easily.
Let's have a look. Yeah, sort of on a neckline, isn't it? Oh, what time frame are you looking at?
Hourly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's clean. Yeah, that's pretty tidy. I would be looking for. I do think there's the potential for a rally. Oh gosh, no.
Anything could happen here, I reckon.
I think you're right.
It's right on the tilt point.
Yeah, not for me. Definitely not for me. I tell you what I don't like about it is that it doesn't come off a trend line. If that right shoulder was coming off a trend line as well, then I think I'd be up for it. But it looks like
not enough confidence. Actually, fair enough.
The most recent hourly price action is a sell signal as well.
Yeah, well, it is double cross for the short as well on the daily pivot.
It looks like a short to me too.
Interesting. As I said, it's D-Day, US D-Day, and I believe we'll know a whole lot more about whether it's going to be a follow-through on the Fed or otherwise by this time tomorrow. We shall see. Okay, we've got to fly. Thanks, mate, for being my trading buddy, and all you guys as well. Shukri, wonderful. Thank you very much indeed, and we will see you tomorrow. So it's from Ash and myself. Bye-bye.